So what the heck is Dragamonz?
So, earlier this year, Spinmaster released a boy skewing line which integrates toys together with a trading card game.
But enough about Bakugan.
Yeah, a lot of people seem baffled that Dragamonz was introduced so close to the Bakugan reboot, especially since it has such a similar business model. However, it also seems to have grown organically from a completely different direction. I'll explain. Wind the clock back to 2016 and Spinmaster releasing Hatchimals, the must-have Christmas toy that year where an electronic animal emerges from an eggshell under its own power. Capitalizing on this, Spinmaster followed up in 2017 by jumping on the growing collectibles craze with Hatchimals Surprise, which are cute little critters contained inside a sort of waxy eggshell that you break open in order to find the toy inside. Unlike the more gender-neutral Hatchimals, Hatchimals Surprise were extremely girl-skewing with hearts and glitter and pastel colors. I'm not a big fan of Hatchimals Surprise, partly because I'm not a big fan of bland collectible lines in general, but also because the egg gimmick is a one-and-done deal after which you're left with a figurine and a bunch of garbage. And that's something that doesn't actually need to be made, with folks like Zuru making smashable eggs which can be reassembled and reused. But personal feelings aside, it's clear that Dragamonz is meant to be the boy-skewing counterpart to Hatchimals Surprise, as they come in the same sort of breakable eggs.
So the fact that Dragamonz veered into Bakugan's lane is either a total coincidence, or it's Spinmaster running out of ideas. Sure hope it's that first one.
The eggs are quite a bit different from those in Hatchimals Surprise, however. While they are still one-and-done gimmicks, the eggs are made out of a much tougher material and can't really be picked apart like those for Hatchimals. Instead, they're designed to be smashed. The bottom half of the eggs are covered in little fault lines that allow the egg to break easily when smashed on a hard surface. However, these eggs are still pretty tough, and I wouldn't try smashing them on anything less than a sturdy table or countertop. And even then, I'd rather just crush them in my hand. As for the Dragamonz inside, they're actually kinda neat. They all have a sort of theme going for them, whether it's being made of bones, or resembling animals or other mythical beasts. I like them, they're cute in a menacing kind of way, reminding me of the look of the Vivisaurs from the game Fossil Fighters. Cool, but also sort of friendly. Honestly, I see these having cross-gender appeal as well. I bet loads of girls would love these skeleton ones. They come in 6 different colors, and each color has 6 characters for a total of 36 Dragamonz. Definitely more manageable than the lines that boast having over 100 pieces. Although each one also gets a rare Mystic version, which is made with clear plastic, doubling the count to 72, but I'd say getting all of those would probably be limited to hardcore collectors only.
But what is by far the most interesting feature of this series is the card game, and you know me, I am a sucker for toys that have a card game integrated into them. Bakugan, Battle Claw, this sort of thing is my jam, so I guess you knew I had to talk about it.
Each Dragamonz comes with a character card meant for use in a greater card game. You use 3 of these characters to build a team, and each character gets an additional deck of 5 cards shuffled, which must have the same color as the character card. Easy enough, you can mix and match Dragamonz of different colors, but not cards. The Dragamonz themselves basically have 12 points across their stats in between their attack, counterattack, and skill point scores, along with a color and a trait. Yeah, this armor icon, which would be defense in any other game, is called counterattack, and it's actually really neat how it works. The skill points, however, are what you build your deck with. Each battle card has a skill cost, which uses the same icon as skill points, and the cost of the cards in your deck must have a combined total less than or equal to the Dragamon's skill points. This acts as the game's balancing mechanic, as a Dragamon with lower combat stats can field way more powerful cards and generate a wilder stat curve. The problem is the Mystics. You see, Mystic Dragamons are 10 points stronger in one of the battle stats, being literally better versions of the regular ones. This might make things a little unfair for those playing, so here I have Kohdok's Dragamonz House Rule number 1. Both players must have the same number of Mystics on their teams. Personally, I'd keep the number at just 1, making for an interesting deck building choice, but it can be any number assuming both players have enough Mystics. Actual battles themselves play out with the current player picking one of their Dragamons to attack with and choosing which Dragamon they will attack.
Maxor attacks! Bareth Beyond!
Yeah, kinda like chaotic.
When a battle begins, the attacking player uses their attack stat and the defending player uses their counterattack stat. Highest number wins. But of course, we still have that shuffled deck of cards. Each character draws 2 cards from this deck and selects 1 to play to boost their Dragamon's power. This stat boost works regardless of whether the Dragamon is attacking or counterattacking.
You see what I mean by the counterattack stat actually being a really clever idea? This way you only have 1 stat to worry about in battle.
Each battle card also has a special condition, which, if met, changes the point boost to a higher amount. These conditions might involve your team build, what you're fighting against, and even the current state of the game. Still others can instead have a beneficial effect without a power boost. And finally, there's this symbol. If this symbol comes out, you get to turn your Dragamon's card over. This is the charged form of the Dragamon, boasting higher stats and a special ability, which might boost your stats even more or give you another advantage. Whichever Dragamon has the highest stat total after all cards are played is the winner, and it returns to its team, staying on its charge side if it managed to charge during battle, and the battle cards are put on the bottom of the deck. The losing character is removed from the game, as in literally taken off of the field, or in Kohdok's Dragamonz House Rule Number 2! Placing the top half of the eggshell on top of the defeated Dragamon to show it's been defeated and to allow easier setup for rematches. In case of a tie, both Dragamons get returned to their teams and play moves to the next player. Last player with Dragamon standing is the winner.
It's certainly a fun game, but it does seem strange to release another toy-themed card game so close to the release of Bakugan, but then again, based on the incredibly cartoony art style and the really simple edition so simple that they actually include a special edition calculator card in the starter set, it's safe to say that Dragamonz is aimed at a much younger audience than Bakugan. Little kids, like real little kids. As opposed to fake little kids, I guess?
How do you do, fellow kids?
What?
I know parents that use the Bakugan basic game to help their kids learn math, and this game certainly falls into that vein as well, being good both for addition as well as cause and effect with the if-then mechanics printed on some cards. Each element has its own little strategy, with another element directly opposing that strategy. Water is about charging, while fire is anti-charge, etc. The way Dragamonz can be matched either with more of their element or more of their trait means that there are plenty of ways to build a team for more clever strategy. The only real issue I have with the game is that I wish the toys had a bigger role to play, like with the power numbers on Gormiti or the way Jinlins convert to resources in Battle Claw. As it stands now, you can play the game without the toys just fine.
Because thing is, I like the idea of a card game with a toy tied to it, even these little collectibles.
It means that after the thrill of opening it is over, there's still plenty to do with the toys beyond just tucking them in a collector case forever. But actually integrating the toy into the game is the one place that Dragamon clearly stumbles. Also, holofoil cards have a different color card back? Come on, guys!
Still, I prefer this to the sorts of blind boxes that are flooding the market and doing the same kind of damage to the toy industry that loot boxes are doing to video games.
Adding a card game, even a simple one, gives the toys more to do after they're opened and tempers the number of toys put out. I always roll my eyes whenever I see a line with over 200 pieces urging buyers to collect them all, where even with optimal pulls you're paying a whole month's rent for one collection. 36 plus is way more manageable, especially since they stuck to the price point seen in regular card games. While this means you only get 6 cards in each $4 booster pack, like I said in my Redekai review, matching the price is more important than matching the card number. They also come in 3 packs for $10 and the Ultimate Dragon Pack, which contains 6 figures for $18, with each tier up carrying a bulk discount as it ought to.
A full 2-player starter set for 18 bucks? Not bad. Certainly better than what Bakugan's doing over here, being 1 toy short of 2 players. You see this, Spinmaster? You could really stand to learn a thing or two from Spinmaster. Huh.
The little booster packs come with 1 egg, the matching character card, which is wrapped in black plastic so you don't spoil the surprise, and 5 random cards, while the multi-packs all come with a random batch of different colored Dragamons, though these include pre-constructed decks so you don't get any of the powerful cost 3 holofoil cards.
These multi-packs can come with rare mystics, however. My multi-pack contained 2.
I admit I am a bit torn over this, as I would like the Dragamonz in the single packs to be usable right away, but at the same time getting a variety of cards feels a lot nicer once you get a 6-pack, which is guaranteed to have a Dragamon of each color inside of it. I also wish that there were packs that let you see the color of the eggshell you're getting before you buy, or sets that make the more iconic characters like Dax and Bakugan easier to obtain.
And the 6-pack does have one little weakness. I mean, what we have here is a collectible series that uses little blind eggs and has enough of these eggs for 2 players, so logically you would think to unleash
Kohdok's Dragamonz House Rule number 3! Tear open the top, drop the 6 eggs in, and take turns blindly pulling eggs from the inside until everybody has 3 for a fun sort of opening experience, except that 2 of the Dragamonz come loose without eggs, so so close to a draft experience you can have at home!
I don't know, I guess you need a brain as weird as mine to come up with something like that, and I bet it didn't even cross the minds of the designers as it was made, but still, the fact that the 2 open ones are hidden in the bottom means that you can still do the blind opening using the 4 that are included in the top and just decide who gets to pick the bottom 2 at the end.
Still, I can't help but feel that these things remind me a bit of Bakugan's bygone era, where they were still simple and affordable, more focused on drawing a crowd than on brand prestige. The series also has an app and a cartoon show. I don't really know much about the show because it's behind a paywall on Amazon Prime.
Because that's how you get people to watch the show meant to promote your product, right? Put it behind a wall?
All I really know about it is that Winton's voice actor plays Bakugan and whoever this Stampede-looking guy over here is supposed to be. It's worth noting that they didn't try to make a Bakugan clone with this. If anything, it looks more like My Little Pony or Skylanders Academy. The app, on the other hand, is hot garbage. Hot garbage with a lot of the worst habits an app can have. Don't even bother.
If you want a video game that feels like how a Dragamonz video game ought to be, try Fossil Fighters. Have I mentioned that I like Fossil Fighters? I really like Fossil Fighters. You should play Fossil Fighters, or even better, Fossil Fighters Champions. Just don't buy Fossil Fighters Frontier, it sucks.
So that's Dragamonz, and I think they're neat. Maybe a bit pricey for a collectible, but the fact that they tie into a game makes them feel less like just a little piece of plastic.
We'll have to see how this pans out, as so far I've only seen them in Target, right next to the Bakugan. But I think they have a different audience in mind, so we'll just have to see where it goes. Until next time, this is Dragamonz by Spinmaster, and this is Kohdok signing off.